Ford's midsize pickup is finally getting a so much needed redesign, and if we consider that the outgoing model has been in production for more than a decade, it's easy to conclude that some improvements will be significant. Although the new model probably won't hit the market before the last quarter of the year, the Australian market version debuted a while ago, so we have a good picture of what the new Ranger is about to bring. So, without further ado, let's check if the 2024 Ford Ranger solves the 6 worst issues of the Ranger's previous generation. Number 6. Ranger Raptor. Back in 2019, we were all excited to see the Ranger reintroduced to the North American market. However, the problem with this comeback was that some of the variants of the pickup remain reserved for Australian and European markets. This primarily refers to the Raptor, so US buyers didn't have a chance to get a Ranger that's as off-road capable as models like the Jeep Gladiator Rubicon or the Chevy Colorado ZR2. Fortunately, this problem is gone because the new generation will finally bring the Ranger Raptor to North America. The US market Raptor will have so many great things to offer. Of course, it'll come with a full load of off-road features, but the thing that'll set it apart from rivals will be the engine. This version of the new Ranger will feature the same 3-liter twin-turbo V6 as the Bronco Raptor, with a max output of 405 and 430 horsepower. It'll be the most powerful mid-size pickup on the market. Speaking of the off-road features, the Raptor will come with an upgraded chassis, with 2.5-inch Fox Live valve shocks, Watts Link rear suspension, locking front and rear differentials, 2-speed transfer case, 33-inch all-terrain tires, and many more. Visually, it'll get a typical Raptor treatment with similar exclusive details as the F-150 Raptor and the Bronco Raptor. Besides exclusive exterior details, the Ranger Raptor will also offer a lot of exclusive design solutions on the inside. The dashboard will be rubberized additionally and feature even nicer materials, while the exclusive color scheme will be highlighted with unique orange details. The steering wheel is also upgraded with a 12 o'clock mark and aluminum paddle shifters that accentuate the model's performance nature. This version also gets new seats with much better side support. Number 5. Cheap looking interior. The outgoing generation was initially introduced back in 2011, and we haven't seen any major interior updates meanwhile. That cabin looked outdated from the day it was introduced to the North American market, even by the standards of this segment. Simply put, the dashboard looks dull, and the materials are mostly cheap plastics. Moreover, the ergonomics are far from perfect, while the obvious lack of standard and available equipment is also notable. All this will be gone once the next generation Ranger finally arrives in North America. If you look at the model that's already debuted in Australia, you'll see a modern interior which looks more appropriate for a modern SUV than a truck. The aesthetics are really nice, while the whole cabin is wrapped with much nicer materials. Of course, there's also a good portion of modern tech features, which also have a big impact on making this pickup look very nice. For now, the new generation of Ranger will be offered in a crew cab layout with 2 spacious rows of seats and the ability to accommodate 5 adults pretty easily. However, the company also has plans to offer a super cab version in North America at some point in the future. Such a cab style is already available in Australia, and we're pretty sure that the Blue Oval company will try to offer it in North America as soon as possible, considering that there aren't many mid-size pickups left with such a configuration on offer. The Chevy Colorado is no longer available with an extended cab, while the Gladiator has always been a crew cab pickup only. Practically, the next generation Tacoma is currently the only pickup. They'll certainly come in 2 cab styles and 2 bed lengths. Number 4. Barebone standard version. If there's one thing to complain about the outgoing generation, it's the lack of standard equipment. Of course, we're aware that this is a pickup truck, a work machine, but what Ford is currently offering in the base versions is below any standards. That model comes with a tiny 3.5-inch infotainment display, just 1 USB port, and a modest 4-speaker audio system. You don't get climate control, cruise control, or power accessories in the most basic variants. The new generation will certainly offer way more standard equipment and fix this issue. We still don't have the exact specs, but we presume things could be pretty similar to the Australian market version. That model comes standard with a massive 10.1-inch touchscreen and an 8-speed digital instrument cluster. Furthermore, the list of standard equipment includes wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as power rear windows, LED taillights, remote start, cloth upholstery, climate control, and many more. The base model will also come with a decent number of standard safety features, including 9 airbags, automatic emergency braking, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors, and many more. That's way more compared to the outgoing model, which comes standard only with a couple of advanced safety systems such as forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking. Number 3. Outdated infotainment system. As we've just mentioned, the outgoing generation is anything but good when it comes to the infotainment system. The base version comes with a super small 3.5-inch screen that can be upgraded all the way up to an impressive 4.2 inches in size. Only in the higher trim levels do you get a decent 8-inch touchscreen as part of standard equipment. In that case, the Ranger is equipped with a decent Sync 3 interface, but even that is an older generation system nowadays, considering that the Sync 4 has been in use for a while. First of all, the screens are much bigger. The new Ranger will come standard with a massive 10.1-inch touchscreen, while an even bigger 12.4-inch unit will be available in higher trims. In both cases, the first thing you'll notice is a quicker response, along with crisper graphics. But the story doesn't end there. The Sync 3 was introduced back in 2015, while the Sync 4 has been in use for just a few years. Therefore, it comes with more advanced software and way more features. One of them is the smartphone integration, whereas the new Ranger will finally get wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Navigation will become part of the standard equipment, just like a way more advanced voice-activated assistant. The menu has been extended notably, while the number of customization options have been increased too. All in all, we could say that the 2024 Ford Ranger will finally get the infotainment system it deserves, one of the best interfaces on the market. Number 2. Ride quality. The outgoing generation of the Ranger is anything but smooth and comfortable. That's not a surprise if you look at the suspension setup, which includes some 50-year-old technical solutions. Of course, we're primarily thinking of the rear suspension based on leaf springs, which is the main reason for the pickup's unsettled ride. Some of the rivals, such as the new Tacoma, are dropping leaf springs in favor of multi-link coil spring suspension. But Ford is not going to make such revolutionary changes. Instead, the Blue Oval Company rather offers subtle improvements and evolution of the current suspension setup. How much will these enhancements impact the ride quality? We won't be able to tell until we try the new Ranger. Still, some new technical solutions definitely look promising. The new Ranger will feature a wider track and therefore should be more stable. The front suspension will include new control arms similar to those found in the Bronco. Still, the biggest changes are coming on the rear end. Namely, the new model will keep the leaf springs, but shocks have been moved outboard the rail frames. This change means more space for spring/damper articulation, which in practice means a smoother ride and better handling. All in all, some improvements will come, though we don't expect them to be significant. Number 1. Powertrain options. Most midsize pickups offer more than one powertrain option. The outgoing Tacoma has 2, while the next generation will have 3 powertrain options on offer. The new Colorado is available with 1 Turbo 4 engine but in 3 output variants. Finally, the Gladiator offers both gasoline and diesel powertrain options. On the other hand, the outgoing generation of Ford's pickup comes with just 1 engine. It is a 2.3-liter Turbo 4 with 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque, and although it's a pretty good engine, the lack of powertrain options is seen as a limiting factor by many potential buyers. Well, that won't be the case with the next generation, as there will be 3 engines on offer. Base models will continue with the same Turbo 4 with the same power figures and the same but updated 10-speed automatic transmission. Higher trim levels will be available with a more capable 6-cylinder engine. That would be a familiar 2.7-liter unit with a max output of 315 horsepower and a respectable 400 pound-feet of max torque. Finally, the Ranger Raptor will come exclusively with a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 with a max output of 405 horsepower and 430 pound-feet of torque. Slightly less power compared to the Bronco Raptor, but enough for the class-leading max output. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.